KSAT 12. The Nightbeat starts right now.
We have up to 4,000 individuals that have crossed over the Rio Grande.
The mayor of Del Rio in the middle of a crowd of migrants, thousands overwhelming Border Patrol agents and the Del Rio community. We have the story coming up.
And our coverage continuing tonight around the two deputies at the center of a public corruption case against indicted ex-constable Michelle Vela. We hear from her former deputies coming up.
And it's February, and San Antonians won't soon forget what happened then. Many left in the dark without water. So how is the city of San Antonio planning to prepare? We take a look at what's in the budget coming up. Also, new video released to the KSAT defenders. Two San Antonio police officers seen here dragging a handcuffed man down a street. Police investigators say not only was the man unnecessarily dragged, he was also denied medical help.
This happened back in January in a neighborhood on Trail Crossing near Mainland Drive. That's on the city's northwest side. Nearly 6 months later, one officer issued a 20-day suspension. Records show Detective David Pantoja issued a citation to the man in handcuffs. It was a misdemeanor citation for failure to ID, which is not a citable offense. Pantoja was appealing his suspension for what you saw in that video. Detective wrote in an incident report that he was forced to drag that man after he made his body go limp, which investigators later said again was unnecessary. The other officer there, identified as Robert Ferguson, investigators confirming Ferguson was suspended for 6 days in connection with the incident.
Also new tonight, suspected of continuous sexual abuse of a child, leading to the arrest of an investigator with the Guadalupe County Sheriff's Office. 35-year-old Joshua Hernandez placed in handcuffs today. Comal County records showed the allegation against him reported on April 2nd. Investigators interviewed Hernandez, the alleged victim, and 3 females in connection with the investigation.
The numbers are growing. More and more people crossing the border in Del Rio and ending up under an international bridge.
Just this past July, Border Patrol in the Del Rio sector came across about 300 undocumented migrants. On Monday, Del Rio's mayor says 2,200 people showed up, and that number continues to grow.
This is beyond crisis. This is urgent. This is dire.
It is a sight that's hard to miss in Del Rio. Thousands of migrants gathered under the international bridge there. Del Rio Mayor Bruno Lozano taking a moment to show the overwhelming situation.
As you can see behind me right now, we have up to 4,000 individuals that have crossed over the Rio Grande.
Lozano says the buildup under the bridge began on Monday. The total by 3:30 this afternoon standing at 5,600 migrants. Many of them, Lozano says, are Haitian. One driver sharing this video with us as she was making her way over the bridge, capturing the moment one group crossed the river.
What you see behind me are individuals that have not even been processed or detained. These individuals here are actually just waiting to get detained.
Seeking asylum is a legal process where migrants give themselves up at the border before their case is scheduled in court. Customs and Border Protection confirms the bridge is serving as a temporary staging site to provide shield from the sun, while migrants wait to be taken into Border Patrol custody.
And unfortunately, the magnitude right now of individuals in such a small, finite area is health, it's safety.
CPB also says drinking water, towels, and portable toilets have been delivered for migrants to use. Border Patrol says they are increasing the number of agents in the Del Rio sector and coordinating efforts to immediately address the current level of migrant encounters. Mayor Lozano applauding Border Patrol efforts, but says it's an overwhelming situation he says he saw coming.
We're in unprecedented times, and I did relay this message back in February to the administration, and I'm still waiting for that plan of action.
And by the way, a source tells me at last count there were some 7,000 migrants underneath the international bridge in Del Rio, and the mayor expects more migrants to be heading there. Border Patrol says the vast majority of single adults and many families will continue to be expelled from the country under Title 42 amid this pandemic. As agents try to process the multitude of migrants, capacity, where to put all of these people, will be one of several factors that could impact the procedures.
A San Antonio teenager killed, and now 30 years later, an arrest in that case. The suspect behind bars on a $100,000 bond. Emily Jeanette Garcia was only 15 years old when she was killed in 1993. She was living with friends in the northeastern part of San Antonio. She was found strangled and sexually assaulted near Canyon Lake in Comal County. Garcia was not identified until 1994 when a family member saw a news report. 50-year-old Thomas Ray Galindo now charged with Garcia's murder. That murder case was reviewed several times over the years, the latest time earlier this year. As investigators re-interviewed several people, they say new information was uncovered, leading to Galindo's arrest.
Jordanton police working another death investigation. The body of 75-year-old Diane Carpenter found in her bedroom after a welfare check this morning. Investigators say the victim's granddaughter, 25-year-old Marlena Jaramillo, admitted to stabbing Carpenter in the chest. Another family member, 49-year-old Roberta Carpenter, says she knew about the stabbing but did not tell police. Both suspects are in the Atascosa County Jail as the Texas Rangers investigate this one. A driver in the hospital after being shot by New Braunfels police. It happened outside a pawn shop on Elliott Knox Boulevard and Castell around 12:30 today. The Texas Rangers stepping in to help with the investigation. Police say they were serving a warrant when the suspect tried to use his vehicle as a weapon, ramming other vehicles. A police officer in the path of that vehicle opened fire. The suspect's condition unknown. Investigators expected to release more information in the next day or so.
The deadly winter storm in February here in San Antonio leading to an event focused on the state of local utilities today. CPS Energy President and CEO Paula Gold Williams warning of a potential rate increase of at least 10%. That would be the first rate hike in 8 years. Meanwhile, the city's budget for the next year is keeping the potential eye on another major winter storm in mind. City Council is expected to approve the Resiliency and Emergency Preparedness Plan as part of the $3.1 billion budget tomorrow. The Night Team's Patty Santos tells us what you're expected to get in return.
As a whole, like the city, you're right, we all got collective PTSD.
February 2021, a winter San Antonians won't soon forget. A week of cold, snow, power blackouts, and for some, no water.
It was like storm on top of storm on top of storm on top of like literal like snow on the ground, you know? So it was intense.
But it also taught us all a lesson in emergency preparedness.
Sí, yo creo que más que nada abastecerse de víveres.
Like storing non-perishables and water. The city of San Antonio says it needs $8.5 million in next year's budget to prepare for an emergency.
This is primarily driven by what we saw during February during the winter storm.
One of the city's main focus, finding 4 permanent locations to shelter residents in any emergency. It could be a senior center or school readily equipped with power and water to be used during a disaster.
Facilities where a community is familiar with, so in case of an emergency, they know where to go.
The plan includes community emergency preparedness education, a resiliency study, plus upgrades to emergency services.
Getting generators for our police stations and fire stations to make sure first responders have the capability to respond. We had some challenges with our fire stations being without power, so the $8.5 million includes about $3 million for that.
And the city already has a hazard and basic emergency plan. The most common hazard in our community is flooding, which the city says it hopes to address through a different plan through brown projects in the near future. If this is approved in Thursday's budget, the community will have a chance to say where they want to see those shelters put up in about 2 months. Myra?
All right, thank you, Patty. A new chapter ahead for the leader of the San Antonio Independent School District. For that district, he is set to make history as the first Latino superintendent moving on to Chicago public schools. While he says it is with a heavy heart, Pedro Martinez is ready to go back to his hometown.
A city that I love, a city where I grew up, where it all started for me. My father brought us to this country.
Chicago became Pedro Martinez's home at 6 years old after his family left Mexico. He plans to take over as head of Chicago Public Schools at the end of the month. Meanwhile, here in San Antonio, unless there is a court decision, the vaccine mandate in the San Antonio Independent School District still stands, as well as the one requiring masks. The Texas Attorney General is taking SAISD to court next Wednesday. The state is asking for temporary restraining order, saying the district violated the governor's executive order prohibiting vaccine mandates.
¡Viva San Antonio!
Hispanic Heritage Month officially kicking off tonight with the celebration in Market Square, marking a battle cry in Mexico's independence. It's known as El Grito de Dolores. Tomorrow, the official day of celebration for Mexico's Independence Day. Hispanic Heritage Month begins today as a nod to several Latin American countries who celebrate their independence. The month-long events will take place through October 15th.
Still ahead here tonight, they were warned their boss was targeting them. Part 2 of our Defenders investigation, the tapes, continues. We hear from the former deputies who faced off with former Constable Michelle Barrientos Vela next on the Nightbeat.
And now to more on those eye-opening deposition tapes regarding indicted ex-constable Michelle Barrientos Vela. In early 2018, months after Precinct 2 deputies Leonicio Moreno and Christopher de la Cerda were warned that their boss was targeting them, Barrientos Vela fired the duo, accusing them of falsifying training hours.
Those terminations did not hold up before the county's Civil Service Commission, and the 2 deputies were reinstated that summer. As the Night Team's Dylan Collier reports, their return to duty only compounded their problems.
I was given a shirt. I was humiliated. I was forced to wear a shirt that had the wording bailiff security on there. There's no such position.
Hours of emotional testimony last fall as part of multiple civil lawsuits painted a pretty clear picture of how much different work life was for deputies Christopher de la Cerda and Leonicio Moreno compared to the other Precinct 2 deputies.
We just weren't treated like police officers.
After returning to duty in the summer of 2018, the pair testified they were stripped of their bathroom breaks, barred from using patrol vehicles, talking to other deputies, or even entering secure areas of the very law enforcement agency they worked for. They were also not reissued stun guns, a glaring safety concern since they were assigned to work court security.
That was a big disappointment because that's your first sign of defense for rather pull my taser if I could versus my handgun. So I think that just put us in a really bad predicament.
But workplace disputes simmering beneath the surface exploded into public view in 2019, weeks after Moreno turned in formal paperwork to run against Barrientos Vela in the 2020 election. His fellow deputies showed up at his house and ordered him to hand over his service weapon.
And I said, "What's going on?" And they're like, "Well, we're here to pick up your gun." I go, "You send 6 patrol cars to pick up my gun."
After Moreno filed federal employment complaints regarding his treatment, Precinct 2 administration wrote up paperwork claiming he lied in those complaints, accusing him of felony perjury, then arrested him after a warrant was signed by a judge. Surveillance footage later showed Moreno's booking was delayed long enough to ensure cameras were there to record him being walked into jail.
And I was in shackles for 12 hours. I was so upset and embarrassed, and I think I paced that cell all night.
And while Moreno's criminal charge was tossed out the next day, de la Cerda was so certain he too would be arrested that he spent that night near the jail.
Dropped off the family and I went and sat by the jail where there's a bail bonds there to see if they can, to check if they had a warrant for me. My intent was to just turn myself in versus her coming to the house and kicking my door in.
De la Cerda was never charged.
It seemed as though it was just a long period of trying to bring them down to the lowest possible stair that they could be brought down to.
St. Mary's University adjunct law professor Donna Coltharp analyzed the 8.5 hours of tape depositions and says the testimony is so strong because both deputies are believable.
I think at points you could just really see signs of trauma. Their self-image, their image in front of their peers.
A deputy within our office was recently arrested for aggravated perjury.
Moreno claimed that his campaign for constable stalled after he and De La Cerda literally became poster board material for Barreda Vela every time she held a press conference.
When you've been arrested, when you've been, put on social media, your pictures are on the county steps.
Moreno says the harassment extended outside of work and even the Precinct 2 chain of command. A vocal supporter of Barreda Vela interrupted a self-defense class for women hosted by Moreno and started streaming footage of the class on Facebook Live.
Posted on her social media that this individual shouldn't be teaching women and all this stuff.
As the depositions came to a conclusion, even the attorney hired by Bexar County to defend their interests expressed sympathy for what Moreno had endured.
I know who you are. I knew who you were before I was retained to defend Bexar County in this case. And what I knew was I didn't like what I saw was happening to you.
It was an acceptable legal tactic, according to Coulthard.
And so she, I think, could do a little bit of throwing Vela under the bus with impunity because she was keeping her eye on the ball.
For the defenders, Dylan Collier, KSAT 12 News.
Civil attorneys for Barreda Vela and the two deputies declined to comment for this story. So far this year, the county has settled various lawsuits against the former constable filed by Moreno, De La Cerda, and a third deputy for a combined $467,000. Right now on KSAT.com, the 10 biggest revelations to come out of these deposition tapes.
Let's take a look outside with live cam tonight. A bit of a break in the heat today with some cooler temperatures. Wondering if we can get that to last longer, Adam.
Well, we were spot on average today. Morning low of 70, afternoon high of 90 degrees, both exactly average for the day today. And temperatures will warm just a little bit, but nothing extraordinary. There is some more tropical development we're tracking in the Atlantic. A few rain chances around here to talk about, and even, look at that, possible cold front. By about this time next week, there's a chance we could have a noticeable cold front move through. And we're not talking anything too drastic, but there could be something noticeable. Let's get right to our pattern. Quiet across our area today. Far west Texas had a few showers, but the rain that was associated with Nicholas and now its remnants all pushing through the southeastern U.S., even clipping parts of the panhandle of Florida, stretching into the Carolinas. So while we're on the topic of the tropics, two areas we're watching, one south of Bermuda and one just off the African coastline. Both of them very likely to turn into tropical cyclones and maybe even become our next named storms. However, the one south of Bermuda likely to just parallel the U.S. coastline, the east coast there, so no concern to us, or the Gulf of Mexico. And of course, we have to watch the one that's closer to Africa, as that in time, and when we're talking a couple weeks from now, could make its way toward us. No way to tell right now. We'll keep an eye on it and let you know. But nothing to worry about. Our rain chances 20% Saturday and Sunday, up to 30% by Wednesday. That's with that potential cold front. So there you have it. Exactly average today. 70 and 90, the low and high. 80 right now. Temperatures for the most part 70s to near 80. Carrizo Springs 81, New Braunfels 75. We'll start the day tomorrow at 71 degrees. But by the noon hour, already into the upper 80s and a high temperature of 94. A lot of sunshine, northeasterly breeze at 5 to 15. Temperatures do rise again, a few degrees the next couple of days, mid 90s for highs through the weekend and into next week. Next Wednesday, we'll be fine-tuning that forecast. Expect some changes. Right now we're thinking about 90, but there's the potential of it being cooler than that with higher rain chances. We just need a little more time.
Thank you, Adam.
All right, major injury news coming out of Frisco tonight, and it all has to do with the Cowboys defense.
Yeah, and when talking to Marcus Lawrence, one of the nicest guys on the team, always enjoy visiting with him. He'd been coming back from back surgery, missed all the offseason, including the training camp, was ready to roll. He was, and after week one, he's out, and for a significant amount of time. When we come back, more about his injury, and did Casey Thompson ever consider transferring from Texas when he was passed over for the starting job the first time? Coming up.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Dallas Cowboys got some devastating news today. Star defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence suffered a broken foot in practice and is out for possibly the next 2 months. That is according to ESPN. That means the Cowboys may be down both of their starting defensive ends since Randy Gregory is still in COVID protocol and may not be able to play either. This comes after the Cowboys are only one of two defenses that did not have one single sack in week one. On the offensive side of the ball, many fans are asking why star running back Ezekiel Elliott only got 11 touches for just 33 yards, especially especially since he's coming off the worst season as a pro. Offensive coordinator Kellen Moore told us 28 plays were called for Zeke, but quarterback Dak Prescott checked out of 12 of those because of the defense the Tampa Bay Buccaneers presented. Remember, the defending Super Bowl champs do have the #1 defense against the run. But Elliott also reminded us today he has other duties than just carrying the ball.
Every play I'm given a job, so it's my job to do my job to the best of its ability. I take a lot of pride in just being well-rounded, being able to, do all things, and I think blitz pickup is big for a running back. You got to keep that quarterback safe. You got to keep him untouched, and so I think that's one of the most important parts.
The Cowboys went into their game this Sunday as 2.5-point underdogs. We'll see if that changes before their 3:25 kickoff. Speaking of offenses, the Houston Texans, on more than one occasion during their domination of Jacksonville in their season opener, used a 3 tight end set. They used it more in one game than they did all of last season under new head coach David Culley. Tight end Farrell Brown was asked how he felt when the team went heavy at his position and how did they think they performed.
It was awesome. I don't remember the count of how many plays, but anytime you can get 3 tight ends out on the field, it's awesome for our group. We have a great group of tight ends. We kind of been saying that all year, and it goes to show. So I'm just happy we're able to use everybody. It's awesome.
The Texans will have their work cut out for them when they hit the road to Cleveland to face the Browns, where they are 12.5-point underdogs this Sunday. The Texas Longhorns will have a new starting quarterback when they host the Rice Owls this week. That will be Casey Thompson, who came into the Horns' embarrassing loss to the Razorbacks in Arkansas in the third quarter after Hudson Card turned the ball over. That led to a touchdown and a 33-7 lead for the Razorbacks. Thompson was able to lead the Horns on 2 scoring drives to narrow that gap, but too little too late in the 40-21 loss. Casey was asked if it had crossed his mind to enter the transfer portal after he was passed over for the starting job at the beginning of the season.
I'm already in this thing, and I've waited my opportunity, and I've waited so long. It's like there's no way that I could just quit and let up at this point. So my thought process was, it hurt for a second, and I'm going to let it sting. But I'm going to wake up the next day. Literally, I took a day to kind of, think about it and soak it all in. And then as soon as the Monday comes around, I just woke up and I went back to work, and I said, no matter what happens, I'm going to be ready to play, and I'm going to take this thing over when the opportunity presents itself.
And now it has, starting Saturday night against Rice at 7 p.m. in Royal Memorial Stadium. A challenge for UTSA fans. Next. The UTSA Roadrunners are hoping what a Middle Tennessee player had to say about attendance at UTSA football games will inspire fans to their Conference USA opener this Saturday in the Alamo Dome. Last week in their home opener, arguably after their biggest win in school history on the road against Illinois, there were over 16,000 fans in the Dome. That included a very good turnout in the student section. That said, the Alamo Dome can hold 65,000 plus. So the team is hoping for a little better turnout this weekend following their 54-0 rout of Lamar and after what this opposing player had to say.
Just comparing them to, Virginia Tech, the stadium's not going to be as packed, like Coach was just saying. That'll be a good factor, but it's in a dome too, so it could get loud.
I know my kids got a kick out of the young man from Middle Tennessee. He made an accurate statement that we don't have the same environment that Virginia Tech did, but I hope our fans take that as a challenge. I hope they see that, and we want that. We want to be the team of San Antonio.
Now they're hoping, they had a little over 16,000 last time. They're hoping for maybe a little over 20,000 for this game. We'll see what happens Saturday at 5 for kickoff. Don't forget, tomorrow night we kick off week 4 of the high school football season with the KSAT 12 MeTV Texas Sports Productions Game of the Week. And what a game we have for you. A battle of the unbeatens in that tough District 29-6A between the Marshall Rams. The Rams came into this game against Stevens last Friday, 23-20. And the Taft Raiders held off the Holmes Huskies in their district opener, 14-13. When Holmes went for 2 and the win with no time on the clock, that was a very gutsy call. Taft survived it. Marshall will try and upset them and take away their undefeated season. And likewise, Taft will try and do the same thing against Marshall. This is a surprising game this late in the season. Both of them are unbeaten.
Absolutely. Thank you, Greg.
You got it.
We'll be right back.
That's it for the Night Beat. Don't forget Good Morning San Antonio at 4:30.